So today we're going to apply the lesson on percent in finding the original amount, okay? The original amount, it will be applied in gratuity, tax, commission, markup, and discounts. Let's start with this problem. What is 30% tip from 120? Okay, so we know, let's use the proportion method. In using a proportion, we know that this is the percent over 100. So we know that's 30%. We equate that to a part over the whole. Part over the whole. Okay, and 30%, I want to get something, the 30%. So that's the x, right? We don't know what part is that. And where we will get it from? The whole of 120. Okay? So from this proportion, we look for a pattern. You could simplify this pattern as 100 became 120. What did I multiply to get 120 times 1.2, right? 1.2. So if I multiply the bottom by 1.2, I will multiply the top 30 times 1.2. I will get times 1.2, 1.2. I will get an answer of $36. All right. So the waiter will get a tip of $36. So this is the part that's missing. Okay. But now for our lesson for today, we know the part, we know the 30%. What is missing now will be this, the 120. What will be the whole? Where did that 36 come from? This will be the missing part. The bottom right will be missing. Okay, and there are two methods or even three methods to do this. Okay, let's start with one method in doing this, which is the use of a table or a diagram. If we read the problem, John went to a restaurant and gave a 20% gratuity, which is equal to 15% of the meal. All right. How much was the original amount of the bill? That means you want to know what was this? What was the original amount that was spent in the meal? So let's write 20% in one box. You know that 20% is equal to $15. Remember, you need to reach 100%. So how many 20%? Another 20, 40, another 20, 60, another 20, that's 80, another 20, that's 100. So it adds up to 100% now. And remember, every 20% is how much? 15, 15, 15, and 15. Okay, since we have 5 sets of 15, so 15 times 5, our answer, our total therefore will be how much? $75. So 75 is the original amount. From that 75 spent in the restaurant bill, that's where we took the 20%. Okay, so that's using a table or an equation. Let's use the second method. Probably you would like this better. I prefer this one. Okay, again, percent over 100, remember this, is equal to part over whole. I always do that so I know where to put the numbers. So the percent 20 goes here. It's always over 100. Okay, this one is that part of the proportion. And then gratuity of 15. All right, the problem now is where to put the 15. Is the $15 a part or the whole? Think about it. Did I get that 15 from somewhere? Yes, I took that 15 from some whole number. So that 15 actually goes up here, 15. And the whole now is missing. All right. So next, I will just look for patterns. Okay, there's a simpler way. For 20 over 100, divide by 20, you're a 1. Divide by 20, you're a 5. Now the pattern is more obvious, right? So what's the pattern? Look at the left to the right. 1 became a 15. I just do times 15. 5 became times 15, therefore will become what? 5 times 15 is again $75. So the whole amount was $75. Would you prefer that method? The third method is the use of an equation. Okay, you'll make your opening equation based on the problem. 20% gratuity of 15 on the meal. So what are you solving for? You want to write a statement. You want to know 20% of X of the missing number is how much? $15, right? So again, you cannot use the percent, change it to a decimal to the left. So I'm going to use 0.20 of means times. Okay, instead of times, I'll just write the symbol of a dot, meaning I need to multiply, right? Okay, the X is still missing. That's the total amount, the whole thing that is missing. Is means equal, and 15 is still 15. We know the part where this is missing. So put it together. 0.20x is equal to 15. You've learned how to solve equations. How can x be alone? Divided by 0.20 on the left, divided by 0.20 on the right. That cancels out. X is equal to, get your calculator, 15 divided by 15 divided by 0.20, you'll get again an answer of 75. So that's the original amount, 75. So remember those three ways. Now we will apply them in different problems. We will now apply two strategies in solving this problem. A snack bar at the school purchases water bottles at a wholesale, so meaning it's cheap if you buy it by wholesale. And they mark them up, meaning the price gets higher price. Why do they make the price higher? So they earn a profit, right? And they mark it up with a 33 and 1/3%. Okay, and that amount is equal to 28 cents, meaning they add 28 cents for each of the bottles. Okay, so let's write down 33 and 1/3, correct? It's equal to 0.28. Our problem is, how many 33 and 1/3 do I need to make 100? I need another set. That's already 66 and 2/3. I need another set. That becomes 99. And the 1/3 added to the 2/3 becomes 1 whole. Okay, so I have 3 sets of this, okay, to make it 100. We're okay with 100%. So how many 28s do I need? You can either add them or simply multiply them by 3. So 0.28 times 3 is how much? $0.84. And this is now the wholesale price of each bottle. Okay, that's including the profit. Now, let's try another method. Let's try our method of proportion. Proportion. Okay, so percent over 100. So I know there's 33 and 1/3 over 100, correct? The part I don't know, the part I know you're gonna add 28 cents. Okay, what was the whole? That's the X, right? So what pattern do I see here from this to that? Okay, so how will I know the pattern here? Get 20.28 divided by 33.333. All right, and you will get a pattern of times 0.0084. That's the pattern on top. Okay, so therefore at the bottom, times 0.0084. And 100 times that will also give me what? 0.84. All right, so it's the same answer. Okay, let's now move on to the next problem. So sales tax in Birmingham is the highest in the nation with 10%, and that percent is actually what? 9.44 of the sales tax. So you wanna know how much was the price of an item before tax was included. Okay, so let's write 10%, which is equal to 9.44. And how many 10% do you need to get 100? Of course, times 10, that's 100. Therefore, how many 9.44 will you need? So 1, so 9.44 times 10 is equal to 94.40. All right, so that's our answer, this one. Okay, let's try another method. Let's try our our equation way. So if you write down as an equation, you write 10% of x, which I don't know, is equal to 9.44. All right? So you could write it as to the left, 0.10x is equal to 9.44. Okay, how can x be alone? Divided by 0.10, divided by 0.10. That cancels out. X is equal to, if you divide 9.44 by 0.10, you will get an answer of 94.40. Again, if you check out the different strategies, your answer will be the same. Use whatever strategy is easy for you. All right, this now final challenge. Oh, not yet the final challenge. Luca is planning to pay the restaurant bill for his co-workers. The bill is 193.75. You'll have to pay 4% tax. Then after that, you'll pay tip, right? But the tip will coming from the total amount with the tax. At the end, you know how much will Luca pay. All right, we will be using several shortcuts here. If you're gonna pay tax, all right, you're gonna pay the whole thing, 100%, right? There's an additional 4%. 4%. So how much percent have you paid? You will pay 104%. All right, do you agree? So I'm going to get 104% of the 193.75. Okay, that will be all of this. That's the amount including the tip, right? Next. Next, I'm going to pay what? A tip. A tip. If I'm going to pay 16% tip, what do we mean by that? I'll pay all of those amount, the 100%, plus an extra 16% tip. I'm going to pay a total of 116%. So whatever this amount is, I'm going to multiply it by 116%. Is that clear? All right, so this will be my equation. But I cannot use percent. I move to the left, U2, I see a percent. I move to the left, So at the end, I'm going to multiply 1.04 times 193.75. Then I'll multiply again by 1.16. All right? So let's multiply this first. If you multiply 1.04 times 193.75, you will get a value, of course, higher than 193, 201.50. Check it out in the calculator. That's what? The meal plus the tax. Next, we'll pay the tip, including the tip now. A whole percent meal times 16% tip, multiply them together, and you will get what? Okay, equals, the final amount will be 233.74. So that's the correct answer. Okay, we use shortcuts in doing this. Next, Raj was friends with his waitress, So he left with a 90% tip, very generous. All of those 90% tip, and then plus 10%, of course, is 100. Okay, if his tip was 27.50, what is the value of X in the table above? So all of this 90% is actually equal to 27.54. All right. So how many parts was it split? How many 10% are there? There are 9, right? So 27.54 divided by 9, and you will get 30.60. So meaning for each of this part, that's going to be 30.60, right? So 30.6, 30.6, 30.6. Okay, that's what you need for each of the 10% because that's the only thing that's being asked. Okay, 30.6, 30.6, 30.6, 30.6. And the total will be 100. Okay, now let's try another strategy. Let's use proportion. Okay, so put your proportion box. Percent over 100 is equal to the part over the whole. All right, so I know, what do I know? I know 90%. 90% out of 100 always, and that's equal to how much? 27.54. All right. So what is the whole? That's what's missing now. I can simplify 90 over 100 as 9 over 10. What pattern do you see? 9 to become 27.54, you will get times 3.06. How did I get that? Divide it. 27.54 divided by 9, and the pattern is times 3.06. So at the bottom, 10 times 3.06, move the decimal point to the right, you will get 30.6 or 60. What have you observed? Your answer is the same. So that's it. Remember those three methods and you can solve for the whole, the original amount. Okay, good luck in your succeeding exercises. Thank you.